At some point, usually just after dusk or in the dead silence of 2 a.m., you hear it. A dog barking aggressively right outside your window, or a car alarm blaring, or perhaps the distinct, piercing meow of a cat in distress. You sit up, heart racing, ready to check the security cameras or yell out into the dark. But when you look, there is no dog, no car, no cat. There is only a small, gray bird perched on the highest branch of the oak tree in your yard, staring directly at your house. The northern mockingbird. And it has just finished its performance. Most people think this is cute. A parlor trick. A bit of feathered entertainment. But the reality is far more specific, far more deliberate, and far stranger than most people realize. What that bird is doing with your neighborhood's sounds is not mimicry for fun. It is acoustic warfare. It is surveillance. And it is changing the way every other creature in your yard behaves, including you. Tonight, we are going into the mind of the master thief of sound. Subscribe before you leave, because what you are about to learn happens in plain sight, yet remains completely invisible to your understanding, and it will change the way you listen to your own backyard. Stay until the end, because the last thing we cover involves a library of hundreds of songs that this bird builds over a lifetime, and the reason it keeps adding to it is something most biologists are still trying to fully grasp. Number 1. The illusion of presence. The mockingbird does not just copy sounds, it weaponizes them. When you hear that car alarm or that barking dog coming from a tiny bird, your brain experiences a moment of cognitive dissonance. You know a bird cannot make that sound, yet your ears tell you otherwise. This confusion is the first layer of the mockingbird strategy. Predators hesitate. Rival birds pause. Even humans stop and listen. In that moment of hesitation, the mockingbird gains control. It is not singing to entertain you. It is broadcasting a signal that says, this territory is occupied by things you do not want to mess with. The eeriness you feel when you realize the source of the noise is a bird is not accidental. It is the result of a vocal precision so sharp, so accurate, that it bypasses your logical brain and triggers your primal alertness. The mockingbird knows exactly which sounds will make you look, which sounds will make a hawk freeze, which sounds will clear a feeder of competitors without the mockingbird ever having to lift a wing. Number 2. The biological machine behind the voice. How does a bird weighing less than 2 ounces produce the sound of a squeaky gate, a ringing phone, or a frog croak? The answer lies in an organ called the syrinx. Unlike the human larynx, which is located at the top of the windpipe, the syrinx is located at the bottom, where the trachea splits into the lungs. This unique position allows the mockingbird to control airflow independently on both sides of its body. It can sing 2 different notes at the same time. It can modulate pitch, volume, and tone with a speed and complexity that no other songbird can match. But here is the part that stops you mid-breath. The mockingbird does not just have a good instrument. It has a perfect memory. Researchers have documented individual mockingbirds that can recall and reproduce over 200 distinct songs. But they don't just repeat them randomly. They arrange them. They weave them together in long, complex sequences that can last for 20 minutes or more. This is not instinct. This is learning. Every sound you hear in your neighborhood, the lawnmower, the doorbell, the neighbor's dog, is being recorded, analyzed, and stored in the neural architecture of this tiny brain. It is building a sonic map of your life. Number 3. The strategic theft. Why steal these voices? Why not just sing a beautiful original song? The answer is efficiency. In the wild, energy is currency. Fighting for territory costs energy. Chasing away intruders costs energy. But if you can convince an intruder that a predator is nearby, or that the territory is already defended by a pack of dogs, you win without spending a calorie. The mockingbird uses the alarm calls of other species against them. If a crow enters the yard, the mockingbird may mimic the scream of a hawk. The crow, hearing its natural enemy, flees. If a cat stalks the garden, the mockingbird may mimic the aggressive chatter of a squirrel mobbing a predator, drawing attention to the cat and ruining its stealth. It is using the voices of the ecosystem as tools. It is hacking the communication network of the forest. And in suburban yards, it has learned that the sounds of human machinery, car alarms, sirens, phones, are the ultimate deterrent. These are loud, jarring, unnatural sounds that signal danger and chaos. By broadcasting them, The mockingbird creates a zone of acoustic discomfort that few other animals are willing to enter. It is not just mimicking. It is curating a soundscape designed to keep everything else away. Number 4. The intelligence of recognition. This is where the story shifts from biology to something bordering on the uncanny. Mockingbirds recognize individuals, not just other birds, but humans. Studies have shown that mockingbirds can remember the faces of people who have threatened their nests, and they will harass those specific individuals for months, even years. But they also remember the sounds associated with those people. If you walk out your back door every day at 7 a.m., the mockingbird knows the sound of your sliding glass door. It knows the rhythm of your footsteps. It knows the tone of your voice, and it incorporates these sounds into its repertoire. Some researchers believe that mockingbirds use these familiar sounds to identify safe zones versus threat zones. If the sound of your door opening means food appears, the bird may mimic it to attract mates or signal safety. If the sound of your voice means aggression, it may mimic it to warn off rivals. The boundary between observation and participation is blurred. The bird is not just living in your yard. It is studying you. It is learning the patterns of your existence and weaving them into its own survival strategy. And then, there is the scale of it. What you are hearing in your yard is not just one bird. It is a conversation that has been going on for millions of years. The mockingbird is the great archivist of the avian world. It preserves the songs of species that may be disappearing. It records the sounds of environments that are changing. When you hear a mockingbird mimic a species you haven't seen in years, you are hearing a ghost, a memory of a landscape that no longer exists. This is the part that changes the way you think about the silence of your home. The next time you hear a strange sound in the night, a beep, a bark, a ring, do not dismiss it as noise. Listen closely. It is the mockingbird telling you what it has seen, what it has heard, and what it knows about the world around you. It is holding up a mirror to your neighborhood, reflecting back the chaos and the order in equal measure. The yard goes quiet at dawn, the performance ends, the bird settles into the shadows. But what you are looking at when you see that small gray form on the branch is not just a bird. It is a recorder, a strategist, a master of deception. The mockingbird has stolen the voices of your world and turned them into a shield. It has mapped your habits and used them to secure its place in the hierarchy of the wild. This happens every day. You have been listening to it for years without knowing the full shape of it. Now you know. And the next time you hear a car alarm in the middle of the night, or a dog barking when no dog is there, you will know that the mockingbird is watching. It is listening, and it is speaking back to you in a language you are only just beginning to understand. Tell me in the comments, what is the strangest sound you have ever heard a mockingbird mimic in your yard? Was it a machine? An animal? Something you couldn't identify? I want to hear about it. I read everyone. I'll see you in the next one.